know what, let me put the top up, because I can do that at 22 miles an hour. Let me put the top up, and I'll give you a sense of what it's like and how quiet it is. Whoa. All right, that's not a good idea. Meet the brand spanking new Buick Cascada, and Cascada in Spanish means waterfall. And to be honest, it's not all that new. It's been around in Europe as an Opel for a number of years, but Buick flew me down here to beautiful Miami to drive this all the way down to Key West. So let's take a drive and see how Buick has tuned this European Opel into an American four-seater convertible. So we started out in South Beach, Miami, and now we're in Key Largo on our way to the southmost point in the US on Key West in this beautiful topless Buick. You like it? I think it's very stylish. It's modern, it's sleek. All right, for all you Europeans who know your Opels, where is the Cascada built? Can you guess? It's Poland. Yes, indeed. This is an import from Poland. And it kind of sits on a unique platform. It kind of has a unique engine, at least for America, the 1.6 liter. It's not something you normally see here in America. So let's find out how it drives. First and foremost, let's give her the beans. Front wheel drive, not a lot of torque steer. Not a lot of, well, let's call it leisurely acceleration. But you know what? This car is not about power. If you want power, you're probably going to get a Mustang or a Camaro convertible. If you want to cruise in convertible top-down comfort with potentially 4 people, then this might be the car you're going to get. And you know what? Buick has positioned this car in a market that doesn't have a real competitor. Under the hood is a 1.6 liter turbo 4-cylinder that puts out 200 horsepower and 207 pound-foot of torque. If you really put your foot in it, you get 221 pound-foot of torque powering the front wheels. It's also made it to a 6-speed automatic. Is it fast? Well, let's call it frisky. Buick says this competes against the Audi A3 convertible and maybe the BMW 2 Series convertible. But you know what? At what, 34 to 37,000, I don't think this competes even against those cars. It's not expensive enough. So it's kind of living in a world of its own. Now, of course, the issue with convertibles is always cowl shake. When you take the top down, the body becomes less rigid, it tends to flex, and that is not an issue with this car, at least not on these perfectly flat Floridian roads. It may be an issue in other places, but here, not an issue. This Buick starts at about $34,000, and if you get all the bells and whistles, goes up to about $37,000. Now, the interior is relatively elegant, but when you take a closer look at the inside, it's a little fussy. Way too many buttons and some plasticky hollow materials. Now, Buick calls this a 2+2, which, let me translate that, really means that the back seats are usable for luggage, or in a pinch, if you have some very short-legged friends, they could probably stand being in the back seat for a short trip to lunch. Of course, the downside to any 4-seater convertible is luggage space. You lose it. But the Cascada has got an interesting little feature where there is a shelf that you can't put luggage underneath. So you can put 2 day bags relatively comfortably into the trunk and still have room for a friend or 2 in the back seat. On the plus side, you can hear the engine with the top up, and there is a little bit of that turbo growl, a little bit of that turbo whine, so there is a little bit of performance. But this is more about cruising in style and luxury. It's not about power, it's not about performance. It's really about a Sunday afternoon with the top down, going to, I don't know, your favorite barbecue joint and enjoying a beautiful day. Now, Buick says they will eventually sell this car in all 50 states, but they're going to start selling it in places like Florida and California and Texas, where most convertibles are sold. All right, let me give you some relevant numbers. 20, that's the MPG in the city. 27, that's the MPG on the highway. Now here's a more important number for a topless convertible. Let me show you. 19. That's how long it takes this car to go from being a beautiful sunny day convertible to an all-weather cruiser. 19 seconds, and you can do that up to 31 miles an hour. It's quite elegant actually watching this top do its thing, and you can do it with the push of one button. Buick's engineered some thoughtful features in this convertible, or is it Opal? Anyway, this seat automatically retracts all the way forward when you want to get in the back seat, and when you push it down, it comes back. And check this out. Obviously my knees are going to get in the way. Look at that. It comes back forward and gives me plenty of room. You know, now that I'm back here, it's not such a bad place to spend some time in. I could see myself actually enjoying the back seat of this car for a limited amount of time. So when you put the top up, it becomes a four-season car. It is remarkably well insulated. And I was just talking to a GM engineer, and he told me that they've got this car to the point where at 155 miles an hour, there's only 3 centimeters of expansion in the soft top. In other words, it only expands 3 centimeters. It doesn't kind of balloon out. And let's just drive it with the top up, and you can kind of listen to it and see how quiet it is. It really is remarkably quiet and well, solid for a car that is in essence not a hardtop convertible. There is one big downside, and that is looking out the back. It's a postage stamp back there. That's what I'm looking through, and there is no blind spot monitoring. Go figure. No push button start. Go figure. Just things that probably this car should have in 2016. Let's start with the bad. Leisurely acceleration, a fussy interior, and a price point that's probably just a little too high. But you know what? All that doesn't matter, because there is very little, if any, competition for this market segment. And on a beautiful day like this in Florida, when you put the top down and you get behind the wheel, all your troubles melt away. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that part of this new convertible Buick. Wow, Key West, as far south in America as you can drive, and just a few feet that way is the furthest south point that you can go in America. So we've gotten this far. Let's go all the way and show you as far south as you can get in the United States. Well, in August of this year, if you guys recall, if you've been watching Motor Mountain, I drove as far north in America as you can go. I drove to Dead Horse on the Dalton Highway, and that is as far north as you can drive in America. So now, when I touch that, I've been as far south as you can drive in America. And to do that in a period of what, 6 months? That's pretty cool. From Dead Horse to Key West. I'm gonna jump in people's shots here for a second. 90 miles to Cuba. And by the way, if you guys want to see the episode where I drove to Dead Horse, all you have to do is click on me and you can check out that Motor Mountain USA, because that was a really fun and interesting episode. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Thank you to Buick for letting me drive all the way down here, and thank you for watching. See you guys next time. I'm gonna go check out Cuba. I know what you guys are thinking. I didn't drive to the southernmost point. Don't leave the comments below saying you walked over there. because I will rectify that right now. We will take this brand spanking new Buick convertible and we will drive, yes, we will drive to the southernmost point in the United States so that we have fulfilled the mission that we stated in this video when we started. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have now driven to the southernmost point in the United States. Any further and we would need an ampy car.